Hello everyone, welcome to week 2. In this video, I'm going to briefly go over our readings from week 1 and talk a little bit about the subtopic for this course. Our subtopic for this course is going to be community. And within that, we're going to talk about not just community as a whole or as an abstract topic, but what I'd like for us to talk about is community as in the communities that we're from, as well as things that happen within our communities. That's why we're reading Nickel and Dimed chapters 1 and 2 for week 2. Just in case you wanted to know the rhyme and reason of that. And we're also going to have other readings that feed into this subtopic as well. Note that if you aren't necessarily feeling a strong connection to this subtopic within our course, in all of the assignments, you'll have alternative things to write about. You won't necessarily have to talk about community or community discussions we're having within our journal entries or within the discussion board posts. There'll be other things you can write about as well. So you're not locked into that. As I said, it's a subtopic. It's not the theme for the course. Next up, I'd like to talk about starting with inquiry, chapter 1 of our textbook. In this chapter, we took a deep dive into what academic writing is and what it means to do academic writing versus public writing or other types of writing. So academic writing, as you saw at the beginning here, is they give a definition on the first page here, is what scholars do to communicate with other scholars in their field of study within their disciplines. I often think of academic writing as just a genre of writing. So genres of writing are, other genres of writing would be public writing. So public writing could be, an example of public writing might be graffiti. Other examples of public writing could be a community newsletter, social media writing, personal writing. And personal writing might be journaling, or it could just be texts that you send or emails that you send. And there's kind of an endless genre of, or endless genres of writing that you could apply here. But the point is, academic writing isn't just the end-all be-all. I don't believe that. No one here believes that. So everything I'm setting out to do this semester in teaching you, the focus of it is on the genre of academic writing so that you can do the best as is possible for all of your college courses and on all of your college papers. But I want you to know there's the rules for the academic writing style isn't something that you should take to heart for everything you do, unless it's something that you want to do. Just because I think you should do MLA for your paper, your first paper, doesn't mean you have to do that for everything, of course, right? So why would you apply any of the other rules to your other types of writing? So there's, another example of the differences here would be, and they list them here. They list similarities between the different types of writings, the different genres that I've just mentioned, and they list differences throughout this chapter. And one of the points made here on page 2 is that basically academic writing entails making an argument, a text that is crafted to persuade an audience, often in the service of changing people's minds and behaviors. So academic writing focuses on making an argument. And I think it could be said that a lot of your writing, your emails, your texts, are all persuasive and make some type of argument most of the time. But academic writing is always making an argument. Academic writing is always based off of other facts, or it has what's called precedence. You've probably heard that term. If you're in law or if you're into legal crime podcasts or anything like that, you would maybe have heard precedence before. We like to base things on other facts or other research done by other people. So we like to root things in research and in critical thinking. We make inquiries, we make observations. And again, I think you do this in lots of your other writing as well. Another point I'd like to make to you, and I think this is said in other sections, but academic writing, as I said, it's not the end-all be-all, but it is what we're going to be doing in college. So you need to know the format, and this is where you learn the format of the genre. But academic writing came about, and that's why we need to learn how to do this. This came about as a genre probably about, I don't know, not quite 100 years ago, but somewhere along there. And I would say about 80 years ago, it came along as a genre. And it was when academics decided, specifically at the lovely universities like Harvard, decided that they wanted to find out how to best gauge students' knowledge. And the best way they found to do that was to gauge it via their writing skills. Whether you consider that fair or not, that's up for debate, and if that's the best way to determine a person's knowledge is through their writing and what they're able to disclose through their writing. It's still highly debatable across the curriculum, but it's what we still do at the university. And because of this, it's important that we help you hone in and polish those communication skills as best as possible. So that's why we do it. That's why we have you in this class. As you go through, the chapter discussed empathy, how we use, it goes further into how we use persuasive tactics, how academic writers need to understand that writing is a process, as you can see here on pages 12 and 13. And we go over this throughout the semester. So really what this first chapter does, not only does it explain academic writing, but it also tells you a little bit about a higher level of what we're going to be going through over the course of the semester. So we'll be going over the drafting process, and you'll be going through that with your first assignment this semester and all of your assignments. And this goes into how we revise, how we should be revising papers, the reflection process and what that should entail, and what it's meant to entail, though it could be different for you. And it gives suggestions for what you might do to reflect on your own work. If you haven't read any of these becoming academic narratives, I suggest you read at least one of them. They're actually quite interesting, and they might give you a better idea of what it means to become academic, which is exactly what you're doing on the course of your college career here. You're becoming an academic. The first one's actually quite powerful. So that pretty much sums up what I wanted to bring up in a nutshell. I don't want to read everything to you here. If you have any questions at all about this reading or about our course, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.